Hi everybody and welcome to week 4. So that puts us halfway through the class. This moves pretty quickly and we are on our second essay. There will be a third one after this. So like I said, this is a bit less of a time crunch overall. So hopefully you've done at least some prep work on this essay, obviously have a thesis and things like that and are ready to build. So we are on week 4. So our learning objectives this week: revise and clarify your clear position on a topic. So I will give you guys feedback on your thesis. I won't do it on the discussions this week. I'll do it on when I grade them. And so when I look at those, I'll give you feedback to hopefully help you make it more clear. If it needs to be more clear, just give you some pointers in that regard. 2, create claims that support that position. So you have your thesis, you have the whole point, what you're trying to make, the argument you're trying to make, get some evidence to prove it, essentially. Your own claims backed up by support. Identify and incorporate textual evidence that supports those claims. So I kind of got ahead of myself with number 3 there. So you're basically going to cite sources using MLA. A few people did this in the first one. It was not required. Some of you did it correctly, some of you didn't, but make sure this week it needs to be correct. I didn't take any points for those of you who did it and didn't quite get it perfectly for the MLA for citations, so it didn't really impact you, but this week it will impact you. So the task: write a draft of the essay draft with a question. So that's 1 paragraph of your essay. So what you should goal would be an 11 sentence paragraph. So you have, there's a template for that. There's an example of how to do that. Basically, that's the way you want to build it. Essay 2, obviously, and then the essay self-reflection. So that'll be your work for this week. And the self-reflection, again, you guys all got the point there. It's just to, for lack of a better way to put it, to force you to think about what you did. And hopefully, looking back what you did, you can then apply those things each time and be a better writer by actively reflecting on it. That's a really important thing. So one thing I think that just reading your first essays and looking through those that I think you guys need to generally work on is probably planning and outlining. So really focus on that. If you haven't done it, even if you have, focus on that, but particularly if you haven't, because I could read some of the essays and they felt a bit meandery. There were good things in there that needed focus, and focus can be brought by a good outline. So for really simple, think of an upside down triangle, a square, a square, a square. So 3 squares, and then another triangle right side up. So I will put some pictures on the screen right now. So you see triangle number 1 upside down, square, 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 triangle number 2. That's your super, super basic, simple formatting. So think about that. That's your introduction with your thesis at the bottom, the same thing on the last triangle, but reversed essentially. And then your body, you have support, and back that support up, support, back that up, support, back that up. That's a really simple way to do this. It's almost oversimplified, but if you start there, draw those shapes on a piece of paper and write in some ideas about what you're going to write for this week. Try that. Start with the simplest outline. Even if you don't get super complicated with your outline, you should. I'm working on a novel that I'm finishing up. I outline like crazy. There are times where I just write things once I'm inspired, but it was built on an outline. And then once you have that outline, you can stray from it if you need to. You can go in another direction. But if you don't have that outline, where are you starting from? So that is what I want you guys to focus on this week. Read through everything. All the reading obviously helps. Think about what is it to argue your point. And that is what we'll be doing this week. Have a good one. I will see you guys online, and I'll see you in my video next week.